Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen news. The Intergalactic Aerospace Expo 2952 is now over, but we are keenly awaiting Alpha 3.18 on a more public PTU and then the live build later this month. So let's delve into the Star Citizen newsletter and then recap the most important news of this week. All good things must come to an end, and the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo is no exception. However, there's loads to look forward to as we set our sights on the upcoming Alpha 3.18 patch. Our latest Patch Watch installment details a selection of features coming to Alpha 3.18 as well. Cloud Imperium Games are planning for a first wave PTU for Star Citizen shortly for that Alpha 3.18 patch, and then a live build around mid-December. So by my reckoning, it's the 15th to the 16th date bracket that they are targeting for a live release. It was just reiterated this week that 3.18 will have a full persistence wipe. Cloud Imperium Games' Jake Acapella said, just to confirm, that Alpha 3.18's wipe will indeed include items, wallet, and reputation due to the deployment of persistent entity streaming. Expect a clean slate once Alpha 3.18 releases. That is going to be a breath of fresh air for some and a sort of herald of winter for others. It's an interesting one. A lot of people obviously are going to lose ships that they've earned in-game over several months, and other people are sort of chomping at the bit to have a reset, to get back into the game and to grind or to do whatever they want to do. It was also confirmed that Star Citizen will have a referral bonus for 3.18. We'll have more info on that later this month, but basically if people sign up using your referral code and then purchase something within a certain period of time, say something, buy like a starter package, $45, then boom, you both get ships or vehicles or things like that. It's pretty cool. There was a Alpha 3.18 patch watch on Spectrum. These typically go over minor changes in patches that haven't been previously discussed, and sometimes they're sort of pretty interesting. So with this one, there's a lot of ergonomics and new sort of keys being set up for easily changing and quickly changing your pips and gimbals for ship combat, that sort of stuff. They've also added a stopwatch too, because that's going to be useful for a load of the race stuff. But there are pretty big meta changes coming with ballistics as well. So ballistics aren't being stopped by shields much at all anymore. Distortion weapons are seeing sweeping changes as well, along with that sort of soft destruction mechanic. Components are being somewhat protected from one-shot sort of kills, at least of the components, by like single hits of missiles, things like that. It appears that 3.18 just keeps on growing and growing, and I'm looking forward to the next patch watch. We should have one in the next week or two. Discounted starters are still available until the 8th of December, so bear that in mind if you want to pick up a Cutter or a C8X Pisces. The Cutter, really great deal at the moment. $45 for a Cutter with a game package. That ship's worth a little bit more than that. And for $10 more, you can upgrade that to an Avenger Titan. I think that's an absolute fantastic deal for a starter ship. Inside Star Citizen this week looked at asset validation and some of the work of the tools teams, but also the interior concept rework of the RSI Polaris. It's got all the facilities that you'd expect in a mini capital ship, and crew quarters, a brig, a reasonably large hangar and cargo bay, medical facilities, and more. Although I do think that the sort of crew complement is maxing out between 12 and 15 in my expectation now, seeing that interior concept rework and the bunks and stuff. I've got a video touring those changes as well. Check it out in the comments and description below. Star Citizen Live had some of the turbulent Montreal devs talking about various features that they've been working on. Lorville is getting much bigger, over twice as big in fact, and has a load of gameplay tied to it as now. Looking forward to that rework. You can expect some rescheduling as well as improvements to scheduling and delegation and task tracking stuff in the new year. So hopefully we'll have a better grip of what's happening with the roadmap and releases. But this is also partly to allow more teams to be able to be seeing the whole pie or sausage as it's being made, whatever you want to call it. But there's going to be less internal obfuscation. It's really nice for devs to know what they're working on and how it fits into the puzzle. And that's actually one of the reasons that I started doing content like I did. I wanted people to be able to look at all of the Star Citizen news and what's being worked on and where it's being worked at, and sort of know how it all fits in with context. with all the other pieces. So it's great that Cloud Imperium are also aware that it's great for their devs to know that. New derelicts and outposts will be looked at soon. We're going to start to see some updates on them. Some of the turbulent teams will be switching more focus to Pyro in the first quarter of 2023. They're waiting on server meshing, Tier 0 to be complete before adding Pyro into the game with Alpha 4.0. They are improving and using / training devs with the Rastar tool currently. That tool is used to place structures and outposts, and eventually this will evolve into a player base building tool. In another Star Citizen video, it was all in French though, and we did find out that Turbulent has opened another Star Citizen studio in Lyon, France as well. I'm going to poke CIG and find out some more about that because I know very little. We have a sneak peek this week of a market aboard a station in Pyro. These stations are sort of like taken over by gangs. They're very run down. They're previously abandoned. Really looking forward to Pyro and the cool stuff that you'll be able to do there. But obviously, it's going to be a bit off the... it's going to be a bit different from what we have in Stanton. There's a lot of infrastructure breakdown in Pyro, and maybe a market is one of the only places you'll be able to get certain commodities, and they might be a lot more lackluster in their sort of variety than we have in Stanton. There was a Spectrum thread. When will we get the next update added to the roadmap cards for Q1 next year for 3.19/4.0? Jake Acapella responded here, we'll have the next release view column early in the new year, though not necessarily the first publish. Our last publish for the year will be on December 21st, and the first one back will be after start of the year. Planning is complete on February 8th. We'll mention this again in the 21st's roundup post as well. So we're going to see a roadmap roundup on the 7th of December, and then again on the 21st. And then it seems like we'll have a big major one on February 8th. Star Citizen has raised over $23 million in November this year alone, mainly due to the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo and the ship sales there. But this is a huge amount, and the single highest month for Star Citizen's funding ever. The project has raised over $106 million so far this year, over $20 million more than last year. That's a lot of money, and the year isn't even over yet. I think a good Alpha 3.18 release could actually push them well over $115 million for the year, but we'll have to wait and see. Boom! That's it for the news recap today. I'm keenly awaiting First Wave PTU for Alpha 3.18. We should be seeing the monthly reports and Star Citizen financials real soon as well. But what do you think? Are you excited for Alpha 3.18? Do persistence wipes get you raring to go or take the wind out of your sails? Do you think Cloud Imperium will actually be able to get the full live build out by mid-December, or will it only be a partial build or be delayed further? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below.
Ho ho ho! Merry Nordmus!
It's Santa!
No, Timmy, it's Father Nordmus. I'm legally distinct and spread NordVPN cheer. Here you go, little Tim. Have some discount on your next NordVPN purchase. Just what you wanted. Go to nordvpn.com/BoredGamer.
But Santa, we don't want a VPN.
I told you, Tim, it's Father Nordmus.
Every month we have a ship giveaway. For December, we are giving away the mighty Drake Corsair Explorer with a Star Citizen game package and lifetime insurance. This no-nonsense Explorer can take you and 3 friends to the limits of adventure around the verse, and although more focused on exploration and expedition, it is a great multi-role mission runner too. Comment on any of my videos during December to be in for a chance of winning that. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Please don't forget to like and especially subscribe to the videos, leave comments, and if you feel so inclined, use the join button under my videos and give a little bit each month to help the channel. It really, really does help. Or you can even become a Patreon or donate. Check out all the links below. Thanks very much for watching. Have a great time in the verse.